Roulette Intermedium proudly promotes the, quote, new and adventurous in music, theater, dance, and any number of combinations of different media. We'll learn a lot more about Roulette in a moment, including their annual benefit coming up next week. One of the featured artists will be performance artist Rind Eckert, and here he is in an excerpt from his work Five Beasts, which he created with composer and musician Ned Rothenberg. Take a look at this. Wow. I love it.
Very cool.
Go ahead, sorry.
I know what you were going to say. You're
Take
going
it
to tell
away.
my secrets. That's me in the morning trying to get to my coffee. It's fine. It's fine.
Those are your words.
Roulette Intermedium was founded in 1978 as a showcase for experimental performing arts and built a reputation for adventurous work, even as it had to use many different spaces over a span of more than 30 years. 4 years ago, it opened a permanent home just blocks from here, and for the first time, we are delighted to have Roulette here on BK Live.
Yes, a week from today, June 11th, Roulette holds its annual benefit, Sound Bites, and here to tell us about it is one of the founding partners and the artistic director, Jim Staley. Jim, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Along with the director of marketing, Ginger Dolden. Ginger, thank you for being here too. Why don't we start with you, Jim? What can you tell us about the origin of Roulette?
Oh, well, Roulette started in my loft in Tribeca, 1978.
Wow.
And
what was it like when it started? I mean, was it you and a couple friends, or?
It was a partner of mine. We started Roulette together back in school in Illinois, and moved out here in '78 and got the loft and started the series shortly after.
So how has it progressed since your loft in '78 to its space in Brooklyn now?
Well, it's made a huge change. I mean, we were in the loft until 2003, really.
Wow.
And for a long time, and we did anywhere from 60 to 90 concerts there a year.
Wow.
And then we moved into a gallery space in Soho for a number of years before finding this space in Brooklyn, which was incredible. When I first walked in there, I felt, okay, this is the place.
That's awesome.
And it's located in the YWCA's cultural theater that they had for many years. And so anyway, the space we were in, basically 1,000 square foot spaces, and now we're in this big theater, and so much more can happen. We can have orchestras, operas, a lot more dance work, modern dance performances, multimedia. So it's just a huge change, and we can now, instead of holding 75 people, we can hold 400, and so it's a real real growth for us.
Very nice. So lots of transitions from 1978 to now, home in Brooklyn. What kind of performances can we expect to see?
A lot of different kinds of performances. As Jim said, we have a lot more dance and opera. It's all like, the opera is all new and experimental opera, and generally new and experimental is kind of how we like to categorize everything, whether it's new music or like avant-garde jazz or dance and different kinds of video. And what else would you think, Jim?
Yeah, electronic.
Electronics,
music.
yeah, exactly.
Spoken word.
What a journey from 1978 to this, where you are now in Brooklyn. Have you kind of upheld the same artistic ideals the whole time? What sort of artists do you include?
Well, I think we include, we always have a series of residents and commissions of young artists, of emerging artists each year. Five residencies and 4 commissions, plus others as they come along. And then, but we're also able to present like Anthony Braxton's opera or Robert Ashley's last opera piece, and we just had the Kronos there performing a piece by a young composer commemorating the 100th anniversary of the Armenian genocide, and so there's a huge range of things that happen there. And I try to keep it interesting. What's going on in New York, and with artists, they'll think of something new, and so you give them a chance to show what they're thinking.
Show their thing.
Yeah.
Well, we all know being an artist in New York is tough. So how do you guys manage to support the artists? Like maybe, I don't know, commission their work or give them,
Well, a big part of our mission is to provide them, an audience for this kind of work and a fair wage, which is something that doesn't really kind of exist anymore for artists. And with our residencies and commissions, we try to give them rehearsal space and, access to the space. So they have an opportunity to develop their work, which, a lot of times as an artist, you show up and you have to perform in that space immediately, and that's all you get, And so Roulette is a beautiful home for that, and it kind of provides a lot of different resources for these artists.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I think we've also, it's a wonderful facility, and more than just presenting our own series, we make it available to lots of Brooklyn's community groups, like the Brooklyn Youth Chorus was just there for several concerts there, and then we have like the Knights Orchestra and String Orchestra of Brooklyn, and sometimes the Vision Festival, and lots of other different kinds of things.
Is there a television aspect of Roulette? Am I right about that?
Yeah. We've been producing these composer profiles of sorts called Roulette TV shows for quite a number of years. We started doing it at DC TV. They sort of invited us in to do some of these programs, and back in like '99. So we've been doing a few each year.
Great.
And putting them out. Yeah.
And Ginger, you play violin?
I do, yeah.
Yes.
How long have you been playing the violin? That is so amazing to me as an instrument. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just could never do that.
It's funny. I've been playing for, I guess, over 20 years now, but it's not as hard as you think it is, especially if you want to express yourself in ways other than just like classical music. There's a lot of different ways to make noise on that instrument.
Yeah. Go ahead,
how does
Tati.
being an artist help you navigate, being with Roulette and helping other artists?
It helps so much. I mean, it really, I do marketing there, and that's kind of a weird world a lot of times for artists, trying to have to like sell yourself or, promote yourself.
It can be the hardest part of it, right?
Yeah, because not only do you have to come up with the material and what you want to be presenting or who you are, you have to then try to like
Get it out there.
sell it to people in some sense. So
And a lot of artists are insecure, am I right?
it's terrible. Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, I feel like every artist should.
I mean, it
Stand-up
was-
comedian on the side.
It means,
But you're great. I always pump him up here. Funniest man in
Yeah.
Brooklyn. No,
Yeah.
it's hard because it's another full-time job completely.
Essentially, yeah. So just being an artist myself, it's very great because I can relate to them. I know exactly what they're going through,
Right.
and I can help try to communicate what they're working on. Because a lot of times with marketing, you explain what you're doing, the person doesn't get what you're doing, and then it's something different. So in this realm, it's really wonderful because I get to know what they're doing and like really get excited about it and really help them spread the word about what they're doing.
Because you get it. You get it.
Most times I get it.
So let's talk about June 11th and sound bites.
Okay, well, we have 5 performances by different artists that we've presented this year and last year. Pauline Oliveras, wonderful composer, very influential composer from way back, and Oliver Lake, avant jazz saxophonist, Hyun Kim and Ursula Scherer doing a piece, a video and cello, and then you saw the thing with Randy Eckert, and then a young percussion group called Teague from Brooklyn.
So Soundbites is June 11th. What other events are going on over the summer, perhaps, that people can check out?
Our season extends a little longer than most arts organizations, so we have full programming through the end of June.
Wow.
We'll have a big performance on Sunday celebrating Lucas Lickety's 50th birthday, and that's in collaboration with the Austrian Cultural Forum. And the next Monday we have the Wet Ink Ensemble coming in, and then we have a couple residencies coming up with Leslie Flanagan and Amirtha Kandabi, and then I think there's Robert Ian next week. There's a whole bunch.
Packed.
We have, I think we present over 120 shows a year, so it's
amazing.
It's a lot of shows in a season.
That's amazing. Even when he says 60 to 90, I was like, 60 to 90 in the loft? Wait, how did that? That's amazing. So let's get your website so people can go out there and get the information for themselves. It's too much to remember.
Yeah, it's just roulette.org.
Awesome.
And you can find us there, or if you type in Roulette Brooklyn, it usually comes up that way
Awesome.
too.
And we can find Roulette TV there, too?
Yes, absolutely.
And maybe on Brooklyn Independent Media at some point? I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll talk off the air.
Yeah.
We are.
Actually, we do, I think
We do. I'm hearing in my ear we have a partnership with you guys. Isn't that convenient?
yeah.
Everyone, check out Roulette. Thank you very much for being here. Have a wonderful
thank you
summer,
for
and
having us.
everyone's going to check out the June 11th Soundbites benefit. Thank you guys very much for being here.